Welcome, students, to this lesson about how to find reliable resources for your research project. So yesterday you identified a species that you want to research, either an animal species, general animal species, or fifth grade you're doing early humans. Now, as you're doing your research, you're going to need to find some resources. We're going to be using a lot, mostly apps and websites for our research here, although you certainly can use books as well if you like. But what's real important here is that we're selecting reliable websites. So how do we know if a website is reliable? That means we can trust it. It has good information. So we're going to look at 6 different ways of identifying whether a website is reliable or not. The first thing we're going to look at is who is the author. So is the author listed as is it listed? So an author, if they really believe in the thing that they wrote, they'll usually put their name with the article. So that's very important. So who wrote this information is very important. Also, is the author, do they work for a university or for National Geographic or for a big organization whose main job it is to present information? Or is it just somebody's random blog or YouTube channel? That would be less reliable. All right, next up is the date. When was this information from? The date of research information is important because old information will not be as up to date. So look at the date. When was this made? Next up, where did the information come from? What was the source? Credible websites cite where the information came from. For example, if I look at this article here about Queen Victoria, this is a Wikipedia article, which means that it's not in a textbook or anything. But if I go all the way down here at the bottom, you'll notice that this is actually written by many authors, but they tell us who, or rather where, they got their information from. This is a long list of really hundreds of books or hundreds of places where they found all of these facts. So does the article or the website tell you where they got their information? That is important. Where did they get their information? All right, the next way we can tell if a website is reliable or not is the domain. That means where does the source come from? A website with .com or .org could be from an individual or organization that has a strong opinion that they want to convince you about. So it might be a little less trustworthy rather than a website that says .edu or .gov that would come from a university or college. Those are the most reliable. It doesn't mean if it says .com or .org that it's not reliable. It just means that you want to look at who is this organization and what do they probably want me to think. It just helps you kind of think about where are they coming from. The most important thing really, though, is who owns the website, or where does the website come from? For example, if I look at, this is a beautiful website about tigers, the domain is, it's coming from National Geographic Kids, and that tells me that, this is a very reliable source because it's an education organization. It doesn't have to be a website. It might be an app. If I'm looking at an app like Britannica, this is going to be a really reliable article because Britannica's main job is making articles for us to read about science and history. So the Britannica app would be a very reliable source. The site design, what does the website look like? So you will notice if I look at this Britannica app, there are no advertisements, and it is very well organized. It's very easy to read, and that tells me that this is an article that, Britannica is very trustworthy. If I look at National Geographic, also very trustworthy because, there's not a lot of distracting pictures, just really beautiful pictures. There's one advertisement about Lego. So, Britannica might be better than National Geographic, but this is still a good website. PebbleGo is also going to be a great website. I can get to PebbleGo by searching for Clever and then I'll just scroll down here to let's see, I'll sign in first. Scroll down to Pebble Go, and I'll be able to find the Pebble Go website. Again, a very good resource for, there it is, for information. There we go, animals. And I can select animals here, and again, you'll see, ooh, fun, wildcats. I'm going to find more tigers. No advertisements, very easy to read, very reliable website. The site design, what does the website look like? Does it have a lot of advertisements, a lot of photos that aren't related to the article? That's going to tell you if that's a good cue that it is or is not a good website. And last is the writing style. Is it easy to read? Bengal tigers are large wildcats. Their coats are orange with dark stripes. Yes, this is very well written. This is easy to read. So I would say that this is a very reliable source. So those are some examples of how we can identify a reliable source. Next up, we're going to do a little practice together, so make sure to watch the next video. We'll practice this together, and then I'm going to have you select 4 sources that you're going to use for your research. We need to find 4 sources that are reliable sources. I'm going to have you do a little work with that as well, so make sure to watch the next video. Can't wait to see your great sources that you choose.